Guys, I am stepping out onto my porch where it is 75 degrees on the first day of winter, and I thought I would do a little garden update because we have a new addition to the garden, which is for the first time in a long time. But I'm just going to run you through all the plants, and then we'll explain why we have the new addition, because it wasn't just to get a plant, there was an actual reasoning behind it. So let's start over here and work our way over. The porch looks a little different. I cleaned it off. I cleaned it a couple, I don't know, maybe a week ago, and got rid of the rug that was here. So there you go. But plant number one is one of my little baby tomatoes. I think I moved the pot. No, it's still in its original pot. So this was planted October 5th or 15th. October 5th, it looks like. This is the smallest one. It hasn't been growing as much for some reason, but it's finally starting to actually like do something. So little teeny tiny baby tomato. Now all my tomatoes that I'm going to show you, like this one right here that's bigger, these all came from my big tomato plant I had over the summer that died. I think I took it out in September because it was dead, but they all came from my tomato plant. So these all came from tomatoes that I grew and then planted. So little baby tomato, smallest one we have. This is my strawberry. It's finally doing something again. So like if you notice, this leaf is brighter. I think it went dormant all summer and it's finally growing. It did flower. You can see the dead flower down there. I thought it would produce a strawberry, but it did not. It just kind of flowered and then disappeared. But it is growing new leaves again, so it's finally becoming not dormant. This is my biggest tomato now, which is funny because my big tomato before it died was like 6 feet tall. But this one was planted back in September, and I'll show you later. There'll be another one that was planted in September that grew smaller, so I'm not sure what the difference is, but. These white spots, I did sunburn it after we had that cold snap in Florida. I accidentally put it out in the sun too fast, and so it got sunburned, but it's growing out of it, and you can see all this bright stuff is the new foliage. So that's my biggest tomato that was planted in September. This is my cucumber. It's also growing. I have various stages of cucumbers at this point, but they were all planted at the same time, which is really weird. You can see all the new growth it's getting up here. They've been growing flowers, like you can see here, and some of the flowers that are dying back, but they've only been growing male flowers, so I haven't been able to have an actual cucumber yet because all the flowers that it's producing is male. The plant itself is a little tilted just because this is a little tilted, but it is growing its little like things that it's going to wrap around its vines, so I think that's pretty cool. That's my biggest cucumber. This one is one of the originals, the bell pepper. It's actually starting to produce. It went kind of quiet for a while because it also had white flies. Now I think I got rid of the white flies on this one because I did not see them flying around it this morning. Some of these these white spots on it are the spray I was using that's organic, but it is growing a pepper and it's got a bunch of flowers, so it is pretty happy. Then we've got the other tomato. No, this is the interesting part. This tomato was also planted in September, but as you see, it's a lot smaller than that one. So again, I don't know what difference makes, but it's happy at least, and it's growing just slower. That's my marigold. I'm not sure how long marigolds live, to be honest. Like, it still has flowers, but it went through a period where it had a lot of flowers, and they're starting to die back. So we'll see. This is my first year growing marigold. The marigold was just to like because it helps pests and attracts pollinators, but there's the marigold. Here's one of the cucumbers that is not doing very well. It's the only one that's in a different soil than all the rest of my plants, and I honestly think the soil is the reason, because when I water these, it soaks in and then it slowly drains out. When I water this one, it just immediately pours out, so I'm not sure if it's getting enough liquid, but it is a pretty sad cucumber, but you know, it's still alive. So now I'll show you guys the new addition, mint. So this is my first herb, and the reason I got mint is because mint actually repels white flies, which are all on this plant right here. So we're gonna try it out, and I wish you guys could smell this, guys. It smells so good. I don't know how long mint lives. I did read that it's perennial. I'm not sure if it was watered today either, so I'm just gonna water it tomorrow because the soil feels kind of wet. But I mean, literally, it does say on the tag that it's harvestable immediately, and part shade 3 to 6 hours, which works fine for here. So and it came in a pot big enough for it, so I don't have to repot it either. So I'm not sure what to actually use mint on. Maybe when I make some hot chocolate, I can figure out how to like do that. If you guys see these little white things, those are the whiteflies. But oh my gosh, it smells amazing, you guys, and it looks very happy. So hopefully, I've never grown a herb, but this is my first year growing a garden. So hopefully it stays happy, and yeah, I'm very happy to have it. And like I said, I just like if you rub your fingers on it and then you smell it. Oh, it smells like mint. It's absolutely amazing. This is the sweet mint variety. So then we've got this, which is where I'm having the issues with the whiteflies. I've been spraying. If you can tell, the plant's kind of getting a little run down. So it's got some new growth down here, but it's also like the whiteflies are kind of like making the plant mad. So anyway, I'm dealing with the whiteflies. I'm trying to get rid of them. I don't know if they're catching on camera, flying around. I've been spraying their eggs with the neem oil, which is the organic spray, and it's worked to some extent, but the adults are still flying around. Like, I don't know if you can see them right there. Those are the stupid whiteflies. So, is that a spider? No, that's an ant. Okay. So, anyway, hopefully having this mint near this is going to start to repel some of these whiteflies, but we'll just have to find out. And then we've got, this is the other one that was planted back in October. So again, different growth rates because the other one's super tiny and this one's gotten bigger. But so we have four tomatoes. If they all grow to full size, guys, I don't know what I'm going to do with 4 6-foot tomatoes on my porch, but you know, that's a future me problem, not a current me problem. And lastly, we've got this guy, which actually was the saddest one because I transplanted it not that long ago, but it perked back up finally. It's growing flowers again. Again, no female flowers, so I don't know if I'm ever going to actually get a cucumber if we're just going to have a bunch of male flowers, but you know, we're trying, and it's growing new foliage as well. So that's the garden update. You know you live in Florida when you can do a garden update on December 21st, but yeah, hopefully we get these whiteflies under control. They don't necessarily kill the plant, but they do suck it down, and you can see like this plant is just, it's not happy. So hopefully that helps between the spray and then these guys. Like I said, they say 3 to 6 hours of sun. Where they're at right now, it's about, what is it, like 3 o'clock? I think it's like 3 o'clock. Sun goes down by 5, so I think that they should be okay right there. And if they start to look a little bit like they don't like the sun that much, I would say I would try to find a shady spot, but there's not a whole lot of shade on the porch this time of year, so I'd probably just push them back further that way. But I don't want them to get sunburned like these guys. I don't know if they were in a, if they were outside, if they were in a greenhouse. I have no idea, but we'll just see how they do right there because I want them there to repel the whiteflies, and hopefully I get these under control before they like kill the plant, essentially, just by dragging it down. So that is the garden update. They seem to only like my peppers. I did spray a little bit on the others just because like there is one flying around by that tomato, but I've mostly seen them on the peppers, which this guy's also getting a lot of new growth. This whole stalk is like new growth right here, but so we'll just see what happens. I dealt with caterpillars all summer, which was honestly easier because I could just pluck them off and take them all the way down there. I can't do that with the whiteflies, but I'm excited to grow my first herb. I'm excited that my garden is doing so well. It has changed. It has morphed since June, but it is my garden, and it makes me very happy. So anyway, this video is pretty long. That's the garden update, and that's that's the first day of winter in Florida for you.